Recording. You're good.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order for January 25th, 2022. Would you please rise for a moment of silence? Thank you. Please join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. Trustee Sheets. Here. Trustee Hunter here. Trustee Good is.
Let me unmute her. She is on.
Is she?
She is.
Well, then she's not absent.
Randy, can you hear us?
Yep. Hello.
There she is. I'll leave you unmuted, Randy.
Okay.
I'm doing roll call. Are you here?
I'm here.
All right. And Paula is absent due to illness. Okay. We have no minutes to approve. I will make a motion to approve our expenditures. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Roll call. Trustee Sheets.
Yes.
Trustee Hunter, yes. Trustee Good.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go on to our visitors. Is Hannah on?
She is. Hold on. And she can talk.
Hi, Hannah.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay.
Okay.
And we will move on to Scott Belcastro with Tri-Bell.
Thank you.
So you can get out of here early. Yes.
I appreciate that. It is a long ride up or down here. You guys, tomorrow is the OTA conference. I don't know if any of you are going to be up there on a Wednesday, but Wednesday evening, we're having our first social night. Invite you guys to come and stop through and see us. But really just wanted to give you an update. I did bring you kind of a natural gas sheet, just kind of showing you where things have been. Go back, a year, you see we're at $1. If you guys can,
Like
sorry,
gas or electric?
this is natural gas, and the reason is because now you use a lot of natural gas to create electricity, and so, you can see here, gas on a per basis was, what is that, 14 cents, almost 15 cents per CCF. And, natural gas as of November of this last year was at 62 cents. It's a 151% increase since January 2021. Thankfully, prices have been coming down recently. But I just wanted to note to everybody, we're trying to keep an eye on things. We're watching it really close. Your AEP residents here, please take advantage of these things. It's with Dynegy at 4.695 cents a kilowatt hour, good through July of 2023, super low rate. And the residents over in Ohio Edison are at 4.470, which is insanely inexpensive. So they really should, people should be excited about this. They should try as much as, if you go the apples to apples right now, rates are over 5 cents, 5.5, 6 cents a kilowatt hour. So we should be saving a lot of folks a lot of money right now. Okay.
How long, when did you say this?
July of 23.
Yeah, July of 23. This is your energy aggregation bulletin. It kind of tells people what to do, where to go. I'm not sure if you have a website here, but you guys can put it up on your website
Okay.
if you want to, copy and paste, we'll turn it into a PDF and put it on your website. It might be useful for people. We could call when they want to do stuff. We will be going out in 2022. We think that rates will come down some. I don't think we're going to return back to the 4.5 cents a kilowatt hour anytime soon. as you guys have seen and heard, if you haven't heard, we've been involved with the Columbus program and turning out, solar energy throughout the state. We may be one of those installation fields here locally that they're looking at, but it is been this movement towards more renewables everywhere. So that reality has come, and I think it's going to end up driving up prices, no matter how you go about doing it. Even the installations themselves are going up right now due to COVID, and so I just want your folks to brace themselves and mentally prepare yourself, and things could be moving upwards north. Okay, so
It's a good idea you're here because the same thing happened with our trash hauling.
yeah,
They had the first contract was so lowballed
yeah,
and it almost not in reality with the prices.
yeah,
And then when we had to renew, it was significantly more.
yeah, and I'll give you my 2 cents. I'm not in a trash business, but I travel a lot in other communities, and even one of my workers that is a trustee, they've seen the same exact thing in their townships, where the reality is it's going way up, and really pay attention to what's given to you and not given to you in those trash contracts, because it makes a big difference in service, quality of service. So.
And I will say again that I have noticed a big drop in my electric bill.
Okay, good.
And I did compare this bill that I just got to a year ago in January. I used more kilowatts this January and I still saved $34.
Yeah, it's wonderful to hear, and I think that's what the program we're trying to do with it. The weather, as you guys know, has been more volatile, and I think that's really, weather drives residential costs quite a bit in the markets. And so between the energy markets being upside down and the weather being extremely volatile, that volatility, we're going to be focused on that at Traybell. We have been for a few years actually now, but more so going forward, trying to secure contracts that allow folks to, have a fixed rate that's stable and not moving all around. I will tell you also, as an improvement, we do have our portal finally done. I'll be releasing that to all of you. It's a portal for the trustees and your administrator, your fiscal officer. Just allows you guys to go in there, keep an eye on how your program's working. All of your documents are there. It's really slick in terms of being able to do things. We will continue to add on to these functions, like looking at your buildings. We're going to break those out so you can see them and what the prices are on those as well. And I think it'll be super useful as we go down the path in the future. Ever have a question of your client, of a customer? If you log into our portal, it takes you just a second, and all the information that you need is right there. So that'll be coming as well.
Did you get a phone call yesterday or the day before from someone in our township who
Uh,
had received the letter
from
from Bay Energy?
ING, okay.
He said he might have gotten it back in November.
Okay, yeah, I don't know, which is another, thanks for teeing that up. We've got both Myra and Ida at our office, and they're taking calls all day long, customer service calls, which is fantastic because, I know everyone thinks suppliers are invincible, but they don't answer their phones a lot. And they sometimes, the other day I had a problem with Dynegy, and I called it myself, and they put me right into like a survey. And I was like, well, where's the people? How do you get to the people? There was just, so of course, we get on the phone and help out and get that resolved quickly, and so your residents can get back into the program. But, our number is on there. Please let people know who to call, and we'd be glad to help. At any time there's an issue with someone who might need, a little assistance. I do 3-way calls all the time. So if I feel like someone's really elderly and they just can't figure this out, we'll just pick up the phone, call 3 parties and 2 parties and work through it with them. helps. That's all I got. I appreciate the time today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know it was last moment, but I was scurrying just to get here and in anticipation for tomorrow, so we were trying to get ready. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay. Would you like to come up, introduce yourself again and? We won't hold you here all night.
Do I need to stand somewhere for the camera?
You can have a seat right there if you'd like.
I think our technology is giving us issues right now, so.
Okay, okay.
I think we're still recording, but
All right. My name's Tyler Furman. I work
Camera.
for Apex Clean Energy. We are the company developing the Springwater Solar Project, which touches Franklin and Madison counties in Pleasant Township, obviously, and then Fairfield Township in Madison County. It is I think I was here earlier or in the fall of this past year, late summer, early fall, and wanted to stop by tonight just to see if there were any questions, but also give you a brief update. We anticipate that we will be filing our application with the Ohio Power Siting Board for the Springwater project by the end of March. That'll kick off sort of the official process, which will include some public information meetings. You'll see a lot more of us in the community. And then on top of that, I also wanted to let you know, we're getting ready to announce our community grant program. And so what we'll do is over the course of 2022, and then probably next year as well, we will be awarding community organizations that benefit the folks in Franklin and or Madison counties at the rate of probably about $4,000 a quarter that we'll award to local organizations. So if you have organizations that you immediately think of that serve your area, that you appreciate, that give back to the community, point them towards our website, which is springwatersolar.com. Since the last time I was here, we've got a new logo for the project. Being a local and a Buckeye, I pushed real hard. We went with Buckeye leaf. And so you'll see it on the website, and there will be information there starting probably next week about the community grant program where folks can apply and kind of describe their project and then what they would use the funds for. So we're excited to be moving into 2022 and kind of taking the next step in the process. We've been working with the folks in Madison County quite a bit. We've been to meet with the Madison County commissioners a few times and just kind of keep everybody posted. And so I'm going to drop by tonight.
So Madison County, you said you have Fairfield and Pleasant.
Yes. So this project is just those two townships. Yeah.
I've had several calls from people who live in Pleasant Township in Madison County
Okay.
about the solar farm.
Interesting. We don't touch Pleasant Township in Madison County. So we're in Fairfield Township there, and then Pleasant Township here in
Okay.
Franklin. And just to kind of, I guess, recap a little bit, it's a 155 megawatt solar project, which is enough to power around 34,000 homes. The revenue that it will generate for the county, for the counties, is around $1.4 million annually. And that money is designated and split up between the affected townships at the millage rate for those townships. And the dollars can be used for infrastructure, schools, government services, police and fire. And there's a whole lot that goes into it. We typically pursue a pilot from the county commissioners, which I'm sure you're aware is payment in lieu of taxes. The benefits to that are that it requires that we use on a solar project 80% local labor during the construction phase. It locks us into agreements where that payment, $9,000 per megawatt per year, which comes to about $1.4 million, is guaranteed for the lifespan of the project, so 30 years. Whereas in a traditional tax structure, as the value of the project depreciates over time, probably by year 18, 19, we're not paying any taxes. So it's in that situation, it's more upfront, and then it dwindles as it goes. This is guaranteed, dedicated 1.4 million every year for the life. And then we've also seen where adding, especially with the energy market the way it is, diversifying our energy portfolio in the state, adding what we're putting onto the grid can help push costs down for folks. So you see an impact at home, it's reliable, it's renewable, and it's also bringing revenue to not just local governments, but also to the families that are signed up, the landowners who are leasing land for the project. So we're excited and always available.
I have questions, absolutely, if you don't mind. Is it okay?
Sure. go ahead.
Trustees, all right. All right, so spring water, how much land does this cover in Pleasant? Or shall I say, of your project, what % is covered in Pleasant Township?
So I need to go back and look at our maps. The majority of the project is going to be in Madison County. So it takes up more space in Fairfield Township and Madison County, but it does cross over into Pleasant Township.
Okay. And then do you guys have a off-taker already for this project?
No, so Apex, and this is something else that I should let you know about. Our company Apex is based out of Charlottesville, Virginia. We were, over the last few months, in October, I believe, was our official announcement, we were acquired by a capital firm called Ares Capital. Ares is a company that we've used to finance a lot of our projects in the past. Projects are expensive. And if you look us up, do some research, you'll see that we've sold projects to IKEA. We've worked with the US Department of Defense and other entities when they want to purchase the power directly from us. Ares acquired us so that we now have the ability to both own and operate instead of sell our projects to companies that are looking to do that. So,
Okay. So
that's
none
the
of it's been appropriated for any companies or places, right?
as of right now, no. And our intention is to own and operate.
Your intention is to own and operate, which would make sense, right? You're just looking for a PP, power purchase agreement, PPA. some
So
point.
instead of, yeah,
If you would get back to the trustees about the percentage of power that's being created here
mhm.
in town, that would be a good first step. And then I'll chat with all of you offline.
Okay.
About where this could go. Okay, so,
You know, we have another project in the township too, solar farm.
what is that one?
Prairie Solar Farm, I think is the name of it.
Yeah, Pleasant Prairie
Pleasant
Solar
Prairie.
Farm.
Okay,
It's like the opposite end of the township from this one.
yeah, okay,
This one is with Prairie also.
this one here,
The
The other.
one I was telling you about.
Pleasant Prairie, okay. All right, well, it's good to know. And if, when you get time, I'll email you. or-
Yeah, happy to provide more information. If you have a card, I'd be happy to take it and kind of
Yeah.
dig into.
World's worst salesman, so I never carry one. So,
All right.
they're probably out of the car.
I've got one of yours in my pocket. I mean, if you give me another one.
I'll go outside right now and get my cards. No big deal.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Cool. Any questions or anything, or I want to stress again, I know we were here in the past and kind of at the end of the year, things kind of slow down on the public facing end and speed up on the back end where we're at desks and trying to get things done. But be more present and happy to just always answer questions or concerns, whatever you might have.
Could you, for the trustees, could talk about where the workers, local workers are coming from? You mentioned that the pilot, which is, I'm familiar with what it does. So could you talk to us about just where those workers come from?
Yeah, so we haven't made any agreements with any companies yet. We're obviously not in the construction phase, but
Right,
the OPSB does require, if we enter into a pilot agreement, that we use 80% local labor. What local means is Ohio domiciled labor. And a lot of folks will try and say, well, that doesn't mean it's technically local. It can be anywhere in Ohio. From a cost perspective, it makes the most sense for us to utilize actual local laborers because there's less involved with them traveling back and forth and all of that. And so We typically, once we start to move towards the construction phase, we'll start looking into who's available, looking at bids for some of that work.
Electrical,
And yeah,
construction people and electrical. So if you have them within the township, it's a good idea to put them on notice and put them in touch with Apex.
yeah, and that's, if you do know folks, have them reach out, because these are folks we want to hear from. A lot of our outreach, obviously, as we move closer, is to local businesses that would be interested in taking part, so that we can include them in sort of that bid process and figure out what things look like moving forward. We are always happy to work with anybody and everybody. So,
All right,
well, with that,
thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll let you get back to the good stuff, and we'll see you soon.
All right,
Appreciate you. Thank you.
both of you.
Bye, Randy.
Hi.
All right, we'll move on to the Sheriff's Department report. Katie Hamilton.
Good evening. Last 2 weeks, had 106 total runs or calls of service. 4 reports were made and 1 arrest. We had no burglaries or B&Es. We did have 5 thefts, and I'll get to those in a minute. Only 4 accidents, so it's kind of down. 7 suspicious persons or people were stopped, or vehicles. 9 alarm drops, 7 traffic stops, and 3 DUIs or OBIs. The 1 arrest was out of a suspicious person stop. And then out of the thefts, 3 reports were made. The other 2 were either just different runs that didn't need to be a report, and none of them seem to be related. There's no investigation. So this seem to be different objects, not a bunch of cars or anything like that, just random stuff. So that's all I have.
Well, I want to thank you again for
Yeah.
checking out the dog complaint so quickly.
Yeah. Anytime, especially with animals in the cold, we try to get out there and do what we can do. Sometimes our hands are tied too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Okay, we'll move on to the road department, Greg.
I'm kind of gonna go in reverse because I have a feeling the first one I put on there is gonna be what you're mostly interested in. As you know, we've had a couple of snow events in the last couple of weeks. And it was kind of good because we had some older salt we wanted to get rid of. So we got through all that, and then we've replenished some of it with salt recently. So probably going to go get some more tomorrow and get some more liquid brine. So that'll look out as well. Obviously, we're trying to keep up with cleaning the trucks, the issues that the fire truck had with the rust and all that. We try to spray them off as quick as we can, get out, get back. And then per you guys' request, I did meet with Donnie Murphy. Seen the issue that we talked about last meeting. And they had some ideas. We kind of looked at them. There was dirt and debris, probably from where he put the septic. It just hasn't had a chance to settle down. So some of that might have ran in there, which would slow some things down. And it was not only on his side, but on the other side of the road, there was chunks of grass and stuff like that in there. That could have slowed down, obviously, some of it. Donnie suggested possibly having a water study done. I know that he said that just to have the study done is $20,000. Then I asked him, once we get that, and he said we will want to start the furthest away for the outlet. He goes, there's no good outlet for all its water anyway, so they would start. He said you would probably want to start your structure where it's going to end, and work our way back. So okay, I understood that.
So what do we ballpark? He said something 300,000 probably for a project, something like that.
And that would be on private property or right away?
Well, it would be both because we'd have to run it from our right of way back into that corner, which we could go underground with most of the pipes, so that wouldn't, you know, affect that farm field, but you'd have to get from, obviously, permission from the landowner. And I asked him, I said, well, what about the creek that runs, you know, in the back of those? He said, you're probably not gonna have a whole lot of luck with that. You might be able to divert some of it that way, but then now you're talking about going through a bunch of private property to do that.
So he didn't offer any solutions on working on solar right away.
He said we could, where the existing, I'll call it ditch, but where the structure is, they said we could widen that back and make it a little longer, both sides of it, which would obviously, when that water would come across, it would give it more room. But, you know, we kind of both agreed with the amount of what, you know, what I didn't think of the first spring was that ground was frozen already also. So among the other things that we already talked about, what happened, you know, I didn't even, I forgot that it had been frozen for a while. So he said that water just, yeah, it didn't, none of it soaked in instead of some of it. So, but I mean, what he was talking about in the right of way and possibly putting like an elliptical shaped passage under there where it wouldn't stick up in the road, but it'd be a little watery. So that'll take a little bit, you know, a little bit more water, but again, bottom line, if you don't have a good place for it to get to, again, it's just gonna not make that big of a difference. So, but I told him just needed to know that kind of thing. He gave a couple little, you know, like the digging out a little wider, a little longer, but we kind of done all that. We can maybe possibly take out some of those trees that are on down. The amount of water we were talking about, I don't think that would have made a huge difference. So he asked how long it was there because they have a water problem up very close that they're working on just up the road. And he said the water got away by the next morning. So, you know, it's never fast enough when it's in your yard, but it is working, it is functioning, you know. What we did last year, that absolutely helped, but for something to where it would be non-existent problem, basically, that's probably what you'd be looking at. So.
And that's no guarantee.
Well, you know, there's always that one storm that no matter what you put in there, take it. So. And we are talking about something, you know, he kind of came and we agreed, he's like, this happens like once or twice a year. Normally, you know, so. It all becomes a deal if you want to spend that much for something that happens once or twice.
And it may not help.
And it may or may not do everybody's satisfaction, you know, so. I kind of was like.
Hopefully
okay.
cleaning out that debris.
Yeah, well, you know, we can keep an eye on that and try to obviously keep those as clean as possible, and we could have it cambered just to make sure nothing got further down in there. It would probably just have to be a push camera though. Can't, they don't do that far, so. But with all that being brand new, all the way out through that field, that shouldn't be. But that's about it.
We'll just keep an eye on it through the spring rains. See what happens.
I talked to Mr. Miller before and told him, kind of what was going on, and told him I was gonna advise you guys at the meeting. And I don't know if he's online or if I told him to swing by the meeting anytime, so.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Right, we'll move on to fire department. Gene Taylor.
Gave you copies of the reports. For the month of January thus far, we're at 95 runs to date. Actually, that's gone up since I sent you this afternoon, so. We had no vehicle maintenance at the time. Jackson had engine 2 for a couple of days, off and on for the last few weeks. I think they're finally getting their vehicle issue shored up. All the gov deals items that were sold were picked up. I believe I put a check in with the bills for Paula, so she should have had that. We have a hydrant we found leaking on Grosbeak Glen. Made notification on that. We fixed the oven. The igniter was not functioning. The guys fixed it here. We ordered the parts in and took care of it ourselves. We were able to handle that. The medication vending machine is fully in service. We did have some issues with the technology. It is an online product, and we had to get by some of the security settings for the Grove City IT folks. So we had them in a few days, and they were able to take care of all that. So the vending machine is up and running and dispensing medications and whatnot now. So I told you guys we'd ordered a 55-gallon drum of DEF fluid. They're expecting a shortage of that. So this is kind of an extra drum we ordered just to be safe. That has come in. Replace light bulbs and whatnot around the station. We did attempt to repair in-house here the washer. Unfortunately, once they got into it, it was kind of beyond our capabilities. And after looking at it, we contacted one of the appliance vendors, and kind of what we told them and talked back and forth with them, it was going to be significantly expensive to fix it. And since it had endured many years of the iron water we had, and also several months of no filter before we got that filter replaced, we just elected to go ahead and replace that washer. We bought a commercial residential unit from Lowe's with not a whole lot of technology on it. The guys laugh and joke about it. It looks like something from probably the 1970s. It belongs in a laundromat, but it's something I think that if we have an issue with it, we can actually work on it rather than having to deal with a computer or anything like that. So we did replace that appliance. We've had a Southwest Fire Academy in a couple of times over the last few weeks. And our next AFG grant has been submitted. We've applied for a comprehensive wellness program and 20 sets of turnout gear, totaling just over $200,000. So awards are expected to be announced beginning at the end around the end of April, if everything goes right at FEMA, beginning of May, somewhere in that time. So hopefully we'll have good luck with that, as we've had in the past. And the only thing I have to request tonight is I'd just like to have a quick executive session to discuss a payroll issue. If anybody has anything for me? Oh, I do have one other thing. I apologize. It's not on my agenda. Two of our firefighters, Lieutenant Johnson and Travis Bays and Firefighter Basin, have completed all the requirements for their associate degree. They have done so. They've gotten notification that they are done with the degree. However, their graduation ceremony does not happen until June, and they will not receive their official diploma, of the actual copy of the associate degree. They've provided me with a copy of their letter from Eastern Gateway Community College that they've satisfied all the requirements and have graduated the school with their degree, pending the ceremony and everything. They've both submitted requests to receive their 3% pay increase as per the contract. I would ask the board to go ahead, and I don't know if we need a motion or a resolution to approve that, or if it can just happen, but I'd ask we accept.
Following the contract, it just happened.
Okay. I'm only concerned because of the documentation, if she would give us an issue. I would think these will be, to me, this is sufficient. They've done everything. They have no more classes to take. They've completed their degree. They just the ceremony doesn't happen until June, and my understanding from what they're telling me is they won't receive the piece of paper until after the ceremony, so. But I do have documentation that they're done, so.
Do you have a document that says they passed and earned it?
Yeah.
I would think that's all.
I just wanted to check with you because I don't have an actual piece of paper there. So I'll turn it into her and, yeah. But you know what I'm saying. It's not the official diploma document, if you understand where I'm at.
If that says they passed.
Just want to make sure you're aware of it, so
Receive it.
I will
That
submit
was
these
Jason
follow-up.
and who did you say?
Lieutenant Johnson. Both of them completed their associate degrees. So the IAFF, the OAPFF has a program where firefighters can go to complete associate degrees and now subsequently bachelor's degrees at no charge. It's an awesome program for developing our people, and these guys are. I think Lieutenant Will's in the program now, and there might be a couple others that are starting there. So it's going to be great for the education of the fire service. And what they, so, and it's of no charge, so which is great.
Yes.
So that's all I have.
All
I
right.
apologize. That wasn't on my thing. That came to me late this afternoon. So
Okay. All right.
thank you.
Okay, old business. Joe Jerome called me. He still has not got that signed copy from a resolution we made for the recycling. Now, I think I sent it once and Paula sent it once. We thought it was all together in that local waste and contract, and he said it is not. So he sent me a copy of it. He said, if we already have one and made a resolution, that should be sufficient. And I said, can we just do it again? And he kind of said yes, didn't really say yes, but this was the resolution in October 27th, 2020. We made a resolution to accept contract agreement for the acceptance and processing of recyclables, materials generated in and collected from within Pleasant Township, entered into this day, the 27th day of October, 2020, by and between Pleasant Township within its offices located at 5373 Norton Road. And between Rumpke of Ohio, located on Generation Drive in Cincinnati. So we made that resolution. I don't have the number. So do you think we should just do this one so we can get it? The reason they want it is because the recycling has been so efficient that they're now making a profit and they want to share the profit and give some back to us. But they need this contract on file. So do you think we should?
We don't have a number.
No, I don't have a number for that.
Would we want to put the new number tonight and put an A beside it as amended? Or you want to just do a whole new one?
What do you think, Randy?
Do we not have we don't have the copy of the old one to send, or?
We have the resolution, just don't have a resolution number.
I'd say just make a new one then if we don't know what it was. Cause that was 2 years ago, wasn't it?
2020.
Okay. I would say let's just make another number as a kind of a redo, I guess.
Okay, that's what we'll do so we can get this done and taken care of. So I'll make resolution 18 -01 -25 -22 to accept the contract agreement for the acceptance and processing of recyclable material generated in and collected from within Pleasant Township entered into this day of January 25th, 2022 is by and between Pleasant Township within its offices located at 5373 Norton Road, Grove City, Ohio, 43123, and Rumpke of Ohio Incorporated with an office located at 3990 Generation Drive, Cincinnati, Ohio. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call. Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter, yes. Trustee Good?
Yes.
All right, we'll get this taken care of and
You just make a copy and send it to him.
yes. All right, we'll move on to new business. Did you have any other old business?
I have none.
New business, Franklin County Health Commissioner Joe Mazzola and Franklin County Homeland Security Director Jeff Young will be addressing future plans to distribute additional COVID-19 test kits and appropriate PPE, which will be supplied by the federal and state governments. This meeting is open to all township trustees, fiscal officers, administrators, and safety services staff. And it will be Tuesday, February 1st at 11 a.m. via Zoom. I plan to attend that.
Okay.
So. And from the Township Association, for the past few weeks, we have been analyzing the potential impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the Omicron variant on the Franklin County Township Association's annual dinner event, which is traditionally held in January. In consultation with Franklin County Public Health, other public health experts, county officials, and many others, the FCTA board has reached the conclusion to reschedule the annual dinner meeting for Thursday, April 28th, 2022 at Hollywood Casino. So those are the updates I had. Do you have anything else?
I had a meeting with the SWACO people today, and sometime mid-March, they'd like to come to one of the meetings and just give an update of what's going on with SWACO.
All right. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Do you have anything, Randy?
Nope.
All right, then. I will move to go in executive session according to the Ohio Revised Code, section 121.22G1, for the purpose of discussing a payroll issue. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Roll call, Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter, yes. Trustee Good?
Yes.
All right.
You may be excused.
Chief, should I just call your phone?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Robert tell you when his next one is? Did Robert tell you when's next survey?
And you're back.
Under Ohio Revised Code, section 121.22G, I move to come out of executive session. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Roll call, Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter, yes. Trustee Good has left the meeting. I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Roll call, Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter, yes. Meeting adjourned at 8:05.